Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm JPEX and I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about MOA and what is it and does it matter. And so in gray zone warfare, you'll see when you click on most of your guns, you'll have an accuracy rating that says, number MOA. So what is MOA? MOA is a minute of angle, and essentially this works like a cone out the end of the barrel of your gun. That depending on the accuracy of the weapon itself, which in real life has multiple factors. Gray zone, it tends to be just the barrel, that it will make a difference on how big the spread is at a specific distance. So for example, on our M700, and I'll show you this is maybe a visual will assist a little bit more. Grab this real fast. So this is our minute of angle, and as you can see, as this comes out, this is an angle outside the barrel of our weapon, and as we increase the distance, our MOA increases as well. Now the standard is for one MOA at 100 yards, your spread is roughly going to be about 1 inch. So you have about an inch spread, and in a video game, of course, it's going to be a little bit of RNG, like gray zone. And in real life, it really depends on the accuracy and stability of your weapon, including your scope. So there's a little bit of difference between the MOA IRL and MOA and GZW. So with that being said, let's hop in here and I'll show you kind of what the difference is between these weapons. Now I've got 4 different weapons. I'm going to show you about the spread on and the MOA and see how it changes depending on what we're shooting. So up first, I have the M700. This is using a hunter barrel or a heavy barrel and a silencer as well. So this is the most accurate weapon I've found in gray zone warfare. M700 with 0.53 MOA. Maybe able to, I've seen it get down a little bit lower, but it might have been just kind of a glitch in the system because it's the same build, and I've seen it at 0.48 or 0.53. So I think it just is dependent on the actual game itself being a little bit hiccupy. So we'll hop in here and I'll show you what I mean by the spread. Realistically, let me zoom in here and hold my breath. When I shoot, let me line this up directly on where my other bullet is. That it should also, we'll gain a little bit of stamina back so that we don't make any difference here. When I shoot in the exact same spot, it should go roughly exactly where the same spot is. All right, I didn't want to shoot because I wasn't specifically lined up, so we'll get our stamina back and we'll shoot one more time. That was a little bit off to the right, but we'll take that into account when we're using it. So next we're going to jump up to this M4. This is a pretty meta M4. Now this isn't the meta M4. As you can see, I've seen recoil control get up to 44 or 43 and some other factors, but for what I can build at this point, this is a pretty meta M4. And the way that this gun is currently sitting is the accuracy is 1.14. Now this is the same as the MKs. 1.83 on the smaller barrels, and then the longer barrels have 1.14 as well. So this M4 and the MK are going to be roughly similar when it comes to the MOA. And just like that, I'll hold my breath, put a couple of shots down, and that should be pretty accurate as to how it stands. Now let's jump over to this AKMN, and I'll throw the voodoo on here as well so that we can get some better shots on. This is a stock AKMN from Artisan level 3 that you can just buy off the rip. This is 3.5 MOA, so it's going to be a little bit higher than what our M4 is, which is 1.14. And we'll see what we can do. Now you can already see as I'm shooting, this is going lower and around what it actually will normally be. Now this is where it gets a little crazy, because we hop over here and grab this voodoo and put this on this Mossberg, and this has a MOA of 32.4. So it's pretty hefty. I am using slugs in here currently, so hopefully we can get a little bit of a good accurate reading off of this, and we'll see what the actual shots are looking like. Now you can see that hit the bush below it. That hit the bush below as well. We'll have to go see and check it out. So now this is, now keep in mind I am roughly at 100 yards, so this is waypoint here, so can't really see, so we'll grab it down here. 89 meters, which translates to about 100 yards. So we'll run over here and we'll check our bullet holes, and hopefully they're still in the wall so we can kind of explain this a little bit better. So in short, MOA does matter, and it makes a pretty large difference in how the guns shoot. So like, as you can see, remember how I said I was a little bit to the right? It did end up going a little bit to the right as well with the M700. So that did end up, let's see if I can zoom out here. So you can see the spread of the M700 is pretty accurate. It shot where I fired pretty close. However, the difference between the M700 and the M4 at 1 MOA, or 0.1 MOA, or 0.5 MOA compared to 1 MOA, really not a big difference. You know, a half an inch compared to 1 inch, that's pretty good. But the biggest difference is when we get over here to the AK. The AK was 3.5, and the difference of spread, remember we were aiming right here. And so think of this as a circle of around where you're shooting, of how the distance of where that bullet could end up. Now, all three of mine happen to end up below, and that could be, I'll have to do some more testing of how it shoots low. And it could have, in my scope, could have been set for 50 meters as well at a 0, but usually it's set at 100 by default. So, but you can see that basically anything in this circle is where it would have hit. That's roughly the size of, you know, an AI head in gray zone. So that inaccuracy compared to the M4 could be the difference in a bullet skipping off of a helmet, missing their neck, you know, between their shoulder and their neck compared to their head. It could make a big difference. And now this is where it gets even crazier. Remember, so we were shooting up here and we ended up way down here. So we could have roughly this entire circle of where that slug could have ended up, meaning that at a distance, this shotgun is not going to shoot exactly where you put it at. And we can even test this a little bit further. We'll back up here to where these guys are. This is about 30, right? Roughly about 30 meters. We'll zoom in and we'll try this again. Put it right there. And it goes low. There, and it goes low again. It goes low again. So maybe this is just a little bit of testing that aim high. But you can see that it does not shoot where we're aiming. It shoots lower than where we're aiming, and it's random. These 3 bullets, the spread between all 3 of them is quite different compared to, you know, where we're aiming up here. And this is only at 30 meters or so. So that makes a large difference when it comes to the actual gun itself. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for all the likes and the subscriptions on the previous video. If you enjoyed this video or it helped at all with the accuracy or explaining what MOA is in the gray zone warfare, let me know in a comment below, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have an excellent evening.